Have you ever pondered the inexplicable mystery of stigmata, the wounds of Christ appearing on a human body? A profound question that has both intrigued and baffled humanity for centuries. Stigmata, for those unfamiliar, are the physical manifestation of the wounds that Jesus Christ suffered during his crucifixion. Bleeding hands, feet, and sometimes even the side and forehead, mirroring the piercing of the crown of thorns, the nails, and the Roman spear. This phenomenon, while rare, is deeply significant in the Christian faith. It's considered by many to be a divine sign, a symbol of extreme holiness and closeness to God. The individuals who experience stigmata are often revered, their stories becoming part of religious folklore and their lives scrutinized for signs of sainthood. However, stigmata are not just spiritual and religious phenomena, they are also physical and medical mysteries. The wounds appear without any physical cause, bleed profusely, and yet, in many cases, do not become infected, don't heal, and do not cause death. They seem to defy our understanding of the human body and its limitations. Over the centuries, there have been hundreds of reported cases of stigmata, but only a handful have been investigated and recognized by the Catholic Church. Many of these cases are shrouded in controversy and skepticism, with accusations of hoax and self-infliction often marring the sanctity of the stigmatic's experience. Yet amongst these numerous cases, there stands one that has captivated the world for over half a century. A humble Italian priest known as Padre Pio, who bore these divine wounds for over 50 years. His story, filled with faith, pain, and mystery, has become a beacon of inspiration for many, a subject of skepticism for others, and a source of curiosity for all. So, let's delve into the enigmatic life of this spiritual figure, a man who lived in constant physical pain, yet whose faith never wavered. One such rare individual was Padre Pio. But who was he really? Born Francesco Forgione, the man who would later be known as Padre Pio, had a story that began in a small Italian village. The picturesque hamlet of Pietrelcina, nestled in the southern region of Italy, is where our tale begins. It was here, on the 25th of May in the year 1887, that Francesco was born into a humble, hard-working family of farmers. A deeply religious household, the Forgione family's life revolved around their Catholic faith. The church was not just a place of worship, but the heart of their community, the pulse of their daily life. It was this environment, imbued with faith and devotion, that nurtured the spiritual inclinations of young Francesco. From a tender age, Francesco displayed an extraordinary affinity towards religion. His desire to serve God was so profound that it was said he could often be found in solitary prayer or deep in spiritual contemplation, even as a child. This devout child would later grow into a man with an unwavering dedication to his faith, a dedication that would shape his destiny. At the age of 5, Francesco experienced his first spiritual vision, an event that would mark the beginning of his unique spiritual journey. These mystical experiences, combined with his profound religious fervor, led him to make a decision that was unusual for a boy of his age. At the age of 15, Francesco chose to join the Capuchin friars, dedicating his life to the service of God. As he stepped into the world of monastic life, Francesco took on the name Pio in honor of Pope Pius I, marking his transition from a young Italian boy to a devout friar. His journey into faith was remarkable, but it was the unusual spiritual experiences that truly set him apart. In the years to come, Padre Pio would become a figure of intrigue and inspiration, a man marked by deep faith and the bearer of the mysterious stigmata. His life's journey from the humble beginnings in Pietrelcina to the hallowed halls of the Capuchin friary is a testament to his unwavering faith and dedication. His journey into faith was remarkable, but it was the unusual spiritual experiences that truly set him apart. In the solitude of a friary in 1918, Padre Pio first experienced the phenomenon that would mark his life forever. In the quiet confines of his cell, the humble friar from Italy was suddenly enveloped in mystery. There, in the silence of prayer, Padre Pio experienced a phenomenon that was as profound as it was perplexing. He began to bleed from his hands, feet, and side, replicating the wounds of Christ's crucifixion. This was the first manifestation of the stigmata, a term derived from the Greek word stigma, meaning mark or sign. The physical implications were immediate and severe. The wounds were deep, painful, and they bled profusely. The friar's hands, once used for simple tasks of daily life, were now marked with a divine sign. His feet, which had walked the humble path of his faith, were now bound by the same pain that Christ had endured, and his side bore the mark of the spear, a symbol of the ultimate sacrifice. Yet the emotional and spiritual implications were even more profound. Padre Pio was deeply moved by the experience, viewing it as a sign of divine favor, a physical manifestation of his spiritual union with Christ. It was a moment that deepened his faith, intensified his devotion, and strengthened his resolve to live a life of sacrifice and service. But it was a journey that came with its challenges. Padre Pio faced discomfort, pain, and a constant reminder of Christ's suffering. Each drop of blood, each moment of pain was a testament to his unwavering faith and his deep devotion. Yet, despite the pain and the physical discomfort, Padre Pio accepted his stigmata with grace and humility. He saw it not as a burden, but as a divine gift, a physical sign of his spiritual connection with Christ. He bore his stigmata with the same courage and conviction with which he lived his life, with faith, with humility, and with an unshakable belief in the divine. The stigmata were not just physical marks, they became a symbol of his spiritual journey. For over half a century, Padre Pio lived with these visible signs of Christ's passion. Imagine, if you will, the trials of living day in and day out with the physical manifestation of such profound spiritual devotion. This was the reality for Padre Pio, marked not only by the stigmata but by the scrutiny and fascination they inevitably attracted. Living with the stigmata was a daily challenge for Padre Pio. The wounds, mirroring those Christ bore on the cross, were painful and required careful attention. Yet, despite the physical discomfort, Padre Pio never let this interfere with his religious duties. He continued to perform Mass, hear confessions, and provide spiritual guidance to those who sought his counsel. Indeed, his condition seemed to deepen his commitment, becoming a living testament to his faith. Yet the stigmata brought trials beyond the physical. The visible signs of his devotion subjected Padre Pio to the public eye and intense scrutiny. Some viewed him with awe, considering him a living saint. Others, however, cast doubt and suspicion, questioning the authenticity of his wounds. This scrutiny at times was immensely challenging for Padre Pio, who preferred a life of humble service over the spotlight's glare. But the stigmata also impacted Padre Pio's personal life. His days were filled with prayer, service, and managing the pain and care his wounds required. His nights were often sleepless, marked by the agony of his condition. Friends noted his patience and resilience, his ability to bear his burden with grace and unyielding faith. The stigmata for Padre Pio were a constant companion, a reminder of his deep connection to Christ's suffering. They were a part of his daily life, shaping his experiences, interactions, and his very understanding of faith and devotion. Yet, through the pain and scrutiny, Padre Pio remained steadfast. Despite the trials, Padre Pio remained committed to his faith and his duties. His life serves as a testament to the power of faith, the resilience of the human spirit, and the profound depths of religious devotion. As word spread about Padre Pio's stigmata, skepticism and controversy inevitably followed. The world outside the monastery walls was not as accepting or understanding of such a mysterious phenomenon. The stigmata, the physical manifestation of Christ's passion, occurring in a humble friar in a remote Italian village. Doubts were raised, eyebrows furrowed, and the wheels of scrutiny began to turn. The Church, being the guardian of faith and the arbiter of truth, took it upon herself to investigate these claims. It was a paradoxical situation for the Vatican, caught between the desire to propagate miracles that testified to the power of faith and the need to ensure that these miracles were indeed genuine, not products of deception or delusion. The investigations were thorough, meticulous, and, as skeptics would hope, quite skeptical. Doctors were brought in, examinations were conducted, and every possible explanation, natural or supernatural, was considered. The stigmata were studied, the wounds examined and re-examined, and Padre Pio himself was put under the microscope. His life, his actions, his words, all were scrutinized in the quest for truth. Some suggested that Padre Pio was a fraud, that the wounds were self-inflicted, a result of some masochistic tendency or a desire for fame. Others proposed that it was a psychosomatic response, that Padre Pio's deep and intense faith had somehow manifested physically on his body. The Church, however, found no evidence of deceit, no signs of mental illness, no indications that Padre Pio's stigmata were anything but genuine. The conclusions drawn were varied. Some remained skeptical, unable to accept the inexplicable, while others saw in Padre Pio's stigmata a testament to the power of faith, an affirmation of the divine in an increasingly skeptical world. Throughout these investigations, throughout the skepticism and the controversy, one thing remained constant: Padre Pio's faith. It was unwavering, unyielding, as steadfast as a mountain in the face of a storm. Despite the controversy, Padre Pio's faith remained unshaken. Padre Pio passed away in 1968, but his legacy continues to live on. Known as one of the most impactful figures in the Catholic Church, Padre Pio's life is indeed noteworthy. His unwavering devotion to God and the stigmata he bore captivated the world. From his humble monastery in Italy, his spiritual influence reached many seeking comfort and guidance. Known for his dedication to confession and his service to the needy, Padre Pio exemplified Christian love and humility. In 2002, over 3 decades after his death, Pope John Paul II canonized him as a saint. This was the pinnacle of a detailed investigation into his life and miracles attributed to him. His extraordinary holiness and the profound impact he made on those who met him were acknowledged by the Church. Stigmata, mirroring Christ's wounds, still fascinate many. While skeptics doubted their authenticity, for many they represented Christ's suffering and Padre Pio's profound union with God. His legacy lives on in multiple ways today. The monastery where he spent most of his life is now a pilgrimage site. The resident Capuchin friars continue to serve the faithful in the footsteps of Padre Pio. His teachings and writings full of spiritual wisdom continue to guide. His hospital, Casa Sollievo della Sofferenza, stands as a living testament to his dedication to easing suffering. It is among Italy's most highly respected medical institutions today. Padre Pio's life, marked by the stigmata, continues to impact millions around the world. His legacy serves as evidence of faith's power, the divine's mystery, and one individual's ability to inspire and influence across generations.